How's it hanging, YouTube? Hello.
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 Hello,
Oh, was it
puppet.
very... Hello.
Hello.
Hello. We're
Hello,
telling you a
puppet.
story. Yeah, so hello, everybody. Welcome to Boys. No, it's not, man. We've got rid of that, didn't we? Welcome to Let's Talk Toys. This is
2022,
getting off
come
to
on.
a good start. Where we're going to talk about all things toy related, 1/6 scales, smaller figures, gaming, and we're also going to talk about some trailers today. So lots going on. As usual, I'm joined by my three buddies from YouTube. We've got James T. Keegan. How you doing, James?
Ayo, I'm very cold.
You.
It's
Very
winter
cold.
set in. It's freezing.
Bless you. Bless you. Turn the heating on.
I can't
Put a
Nice.
jumper on. There's various options.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've
You
got
told me
hoodies.
I look told me I
Hoodies.
look like a teddy bear when I had my snuddy on. Ben,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, you did.
Give the internet.
Nice
what
to
it
see you, and you, James. Nice to see me. We've got
Yes.
Simon. How are you doing, Simon?
Hi. I'm alright, man. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Very well. And you've come appropriately dressed tonight. That's nice.
Oh
to
yeah,
see.
yeah.
You're nice and
Got my
warm. Yeah?
Grogu t-shirt and hoodie.
Good stuff. And then we've got Ben, the attention-seeking geek. How you doing, Ben?
wants. Am I right?
Get Marvel. Bringing the enthusiasm as usual, Ben. Nice to see
It'll
you.
come.
It'll come.
It'll come.
Marvelous. So we've got a few people watching. We've got good old StreamYard as usual, and so far we've got GP Venom. How are you doing, Pete? Haven't seen you for a while. Thank you very much for joining. Right, guys, we've got absolutely tons to get through tonight, so we're just going to crack straight on and start working our way through it. All right. Thanks very much for joining, Freezy.
Shout out to Jay, by the way, who is one of the, I'm going to say it, one of the only Americans or people in the 1/6 scale community that actually show Peter, this channel, this show, some love. So thank you, Jay.
Very
we love you back.
Yes, we love you, Jay. Thank you very much. Okay. So, like I said, Jay's joined with tonight to watch a toy show. Jay, we're not going to talk about toys for at least an hour, so hard to bear.
By which time there's other streamers out there doing the same conversation.
Yeah,
so
exactly. But we'll crack straight through. Okay, guys. So lots to talk about, as I said, tonight. But we're going to start off with our closer look section, and tonight we're going to talk trailers. So there were an absolute ton of trailers came out, it feels, last week. Just absolutely tons. And there were some absolutely amazing ones. So I just wanted to briefly talk about some of these tonight before we move on. So we'll start off with Mario. James, would you like to tell us a little bit about Mario?
Oh, yeah, it looks.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry.
No.
What? Let's. What was that?
It's me, Mario.
It's very good.
It's not you.
Thank God. Yeah.
This trailer has this movie has just continually impressed me. Everything that we've seen about it, it looks incredible. The animation is gorgeous. There was a lot of controversy when it was announced about the voice cast, but I think they've all kind of nailed it, and some are a little bit different. There's Charlie Day, for example, as Luigi. You don't usually hear Luigi talk much, but he sounds great. And there's a lot of like nods to kind of other games in the Mario universe, like Luigi's Mansion, for example. That's a sequence I can't wait to see. And the trailer ends with like a Mario Kart sequence, which like in hindsight seems kind of obvious to do, but I didn't think about, and I just love seeing it on screen. So yeah, this looks great.
So you guys excited for Mario?
Oh yeah.
I would say, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this film is my most anticipated film of 2023. Like legitimately over Marvel. Like, well, we haven't got a Star Wars film coming, have we? Like, yeah, like it's just fully. I'm there. I just feel like it's just completely kind of honored my childhood. As James says, you know, the little references to like Luigi's Mansion, Mario Kart. We're obviously going to get Donkey Kong, who is voiced by Seth Rogen, by the way. I cannot wait to hear that voice come out of the big guy. And yeah, just the second trailer just gave me everything I needed and more. And like just seeing the way they're kind of incorporating the tubes and everything like that, and it's almost looks like there's like a course set up for Mario at one point, and just like Chris Pratt has obviously got a lot of stick, but like one of my favorite films, right, is the Lego Movie.
Yeah,
And what Chris Pratt offers to Emmett, you know, as a character in terms of his voice work is, you know, is astounding. So I really think he's going to do a good job. I love the bit where he kind of says "let's go," but does it with like a "let's go," like in a dramatic way. It was just, yeah, I liked that trailer.
I'm getting that. I'm getting that. So I'm glad you mentioned the Lego movie there, because I had absolutely no interest in going to see the Lego movie. I'm not a Lego person. It does nothing for us. But I went with my son. And I absolutely loved that movie. Absolutely love it. And I'm hoping I have the same experience with this, because I'm not excited at all about
It's the
this.
same studio.
Yeah.
I think it will hit that kind of level. Like it'll be the Lego movie for Nintendo.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's because I don't have a massive connection to Super Mario Brothers. I was a Sega guy more than a Nintendo guy, so it doesn't. I haven't got that
shocks
nostalgia.
me so much, though, because that's your era. You know that.
But no, but back
80s
then,
and...
if you think, Ben, back then it was. I mean, yeah, if you think back then in terms of household income and stuff, you either had a Sega or you had a Nintendo. You didn't have both. And we went down in my house the Sega route. So I never really played Nintendo, to be honest.
And even that you stole from the neighbors, didn't you?
Next door. Yeah. And their power. Yeah. So anyway, that's Super Mario.
I'm just, before we move on, I'm going to go on a limb and say that the ending is going to tease a Smash Bros. Movie. I think that's where this is going to go.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. I think that's where they're going to do for the second
one. That's a big if. I mean, it would be amazing.
Man, that would be unbelievable. I'm not going to put my expectations there. My expectation for a sequel is Wario.
I feel like Wario's probably in this, though.
My spirit animal. If we see Wario, I will lose my shit.
Waluigi, like everyone hates on him. You know.
Say that 5 times, Simon.
I mean, you are just saying words now. I don't understand.
Smash Bros.
Yeah,
you know, it's like the crossover Nintendo fighting
game.
I've
played that. I think I've played that.
Wario's like the anti-Mario,
the evil one, isn't he?
Still,
Waluigi is Luigi's.
I'm not gonna win.
Yeah. Moving on to something I do know a little bit about. Simon, were you want to talk to about Transformers?
Yes, so this is Transformers. It's the Beast Wars, or that's not what it's actually called.
Rise of the Beasts.
Rise of the Beasts, and it's based really off Beast Wars, and it's set between the Bumblebee movie in the 90s to the normal very first Transformers movies. I think that's where it's set and based in. It's very interesting. I'm very looking forward to it. Yeah, I love Beast Wars. Did you watch Beast Wars as cartoon?
So I'm aware of Beast Wars in terms of the canon and stuff like that, but I've not really watched a great deal of it. But for me, this trailer jumped out because of the character on screen there, who's obviously RC.
Yeah,
she looked amazing, and I love the fact that they've leaned into the designs of the Transformers more familiar with the Bumblebee movie rather than the Michael Bay movies. So there's a stunning shot of Prime in his truck mode driving along, which just looked amazing. And Mirage looks fantastic as well.
Yeah. You want a spoiler?
I wouldn't.
Ironhide's coming back.
I think I read something about that, yeah. Because again, I'm going to geek out, as you know, but again, the treatment of the Transformers, the Generation 1's one, and the Michael Bay movies was atrocious. And bumping off Ironhide and all the rest of it was just naff. But yeah, I'm really excited for this
Bumblebee was fantastic, though. It's funny how you're all saying, "Oh, I can't wait to see this Transformer." That Transformer. I'm excited because Anthony Ramos is the main character in this, and he's an actor that I love.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited to see his performance.
Yeah.
No,
JP,
cool.
it's not as Matthew says. It's not Michael Bay doing this one, which is a massive relief because I've not been a big fan, other than Bumblebee. I've not been a big fan.
But then he didn't do like Last Night and that, and they were crap as well.
Oh God, yeah. Last Night was atrocious. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was unwatchable actually.
Yeah, it was. Okay, next one. Ben, Indy. That's me impression of what you call him, short socket or something.
Good. It was bad and offensive.
Get your words out.
I'm a massive Indiana Jones fan, as you know. Big part of my fandom in general. I am very skeptical. I think it's because of the disappointment, obviously, of the last one. I didn't hate all of that film. I still think there was some stuff to be celebrated, but the bits that let it down were those kind of overly sort of CG moments and stuff like that. My worry is here, even in the trailer, there were some shots that for me stood out as being very obviously CG, and it kind of took me out of even the trailer. So what's it going to do in the film? So I'm slightly nervous of that element. I love Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and I know as well as starring, she had a hand in the script, and she's just an incredibly talented person. So I'm excited to sort of see her as, I think she's the goddaughter of Indy.
Right.
The Dial of Destiny is obviously the title, and I don't know. We saw some shots of a kind of de-aged Harrison. There are rumors that this is going to involve time travel. And the other rumor is that obviously they're just flashbacks. I don't know how I'd feel about time travel. Like it's funny with Indy. It's like all of the very fantastical moments still, like even the night, the thousands years old night or whatever, even that still felt rooted in reality, if that makes sense. Like and I do worry that things like time travel kind of take me back to that sort of alien scene, and I don't know. I'm excited. It's always great to see Harrison, with his whip again, and I'm just slightly nervous of the action stuff, but I'm excited. I think it's going to be an emotional watch as well, because I think by all accounts it seems like maybe his last go at it.
Yeah, I think they'll bump them off at the end. And I think for me, Indiana Jones has always been a bit like, when I think back to the earlier James Bond films, part of the charm of them is the practical special effects.
Yeah,
and as soon as they start to kind of go into more CGI action, it loses us completely.
I think it was at one bit riding the horse. You could see it was very CGI.
Yeah. And he jumped from a cart to another cart, and it just looked.
I'm like you, Ben. I'm a massive Indy fan. I'm hoping that they do. I mean, for me, I think you've got to be. I know it's stupid to say, but you've got to be realistic. So we all know Harrison Ford's an old man. We all see him on screen as an old man. So if he's doing acrobatics and all that kind of jazz, it's going to feel wrong. I hope they treat him with kind of the respect that he's due, I guess. James, what about you? You a big Indy fan?
So I've never watched start to finish through an Indiana Jones film. I've seen them.
Swear to God.
I've seen them all. Listen, I've seen them all like in chunks over the years, but I've never actually sat and watched like a whole one. Maybe Raiders, like 90% of it in one go. But like I like the aesthetic of it. Nathan Drake is obviously my favorite character, and he's clearly very inspired by Indiana Jones. So I love a good like hunt down the artifact adventure movie. So like I'm looking forward to checking this one out. I'm curious about the de-aging stuff in it too.
Tell you what, I've mentioned it before, and I think you guys are fans. If you want a more modern take on Indiana Jones, you can't go wrong with the National Treasure movies. I think they're phenomenal. Nicolas Cage in them is brilliant. Look at Ben's face. You can't say anything bad about Nicolas Cage.
Too. No.
Guardians of the Galaxy, guys. So obviously, I had the Guardians trailer. What did you think about that?
Looks so good.
It's going to be a right tearjerker.
Yeah. Matthew, Temple of Doom for me as well, mate. Guys, well, James hasn't got an opinion. Ben, favorite indie movie?
Raiders.
Raiders for me. Yeah.
Raiders. James, out of the 90%, 5%, what would you pick a good favorite?
What's the second one? The Ark one.
Oh no! What am I saying?
Raiders.
Last Crusade for me. Sorry, Sean Connery.
With Sean Connery.
Is Temple of Doom not the one that people don't like? The prequel one.
Yeah, that's the Kalima.
That's here. Okay.
Yeah, I like that one.
No, like I do enjoy all I've seen of Raiders. I do like that's the one like I will leave on if it's.
Yeah. By the way, Toy Talk as well. If Present Toys, who did the Indiana Jones, did a Sean Connery.
Did they?
No, if they did.
Oh,
I
if
would-
right, I was going to say I haven't
Yeah.
got that one.
That's an instant. Yeah.
Ooh.
All day long.
So sorry, back to
Guardians.
Guardians. Amazing trailer. What did you think? Ben, we'll come to
Yeah.
you.
Just kind of like really epitomizes what's so great about James Gunn's films and specifically Guardians just in the trailer. You know, it starts off with one of the best visual gags like I've seen in Drax smashing that little girl's face in with the ball. Hilarious. And then takes us on that emotional journey, you know, sort of obviously not going into stuff too much, but we're seeing a young Rocket, so and seeing Rocket's kind of previous lover
Backstory.
Lila or whatever. So it's yeah, and then obviously all the action and seeing Adam Warlock and you know, back to back Star-Lord and Groot. It's just everything that you want. You want action, you want emotion, you want humor, and that's what I want from my superhero films. And this is
What
it's
did you
going to be
reckon
everything.
to Adam Warlock? Yeah, we didn't get to see a lot.
Didn't see enough of them really, and I
No.
hadn't realised that was a High Evolutionary either in it.
Yeah,
I hadn't picked up on that.
Yeah, it's quite different because he appeared in Comic-Con in his costume, so it's like a
Right.
purple sort of look rather than the red, you know, in the comics. But he's a tremendous actor. He's like fantastic in Peacemaker series.
Yeah.
So
I knew I recognised him, but I wasn't sure from. So he was the he was an alien, wasn't he? But he was the
one of the butterflies in him.
Yeah. Tremendous. Okay, guys, just conscious of time, so moving on. This trailer absolutely blew me. I think this was probably my favourite trailer of the week, believe it or not. This is
Really?
Cocaine. Oh, I love
Guardians
it.
beats this, but I mean, it was
I just
funny.
thought this looked
Literally
much
all of them beat this. Peter, what's wrong with
This
you?
is cool.
You're a cocaine bear if you like this trailer more than the others.
You do
think
know
this
it's
looks
based
fun.
on true events.
Yeah. So based on a true story about a bear that eats
Says that in
cocaine.
the trailer, Simon.
Yeah. James, did you see this trailer?
I did. Yeah, it looks
What did you
great.
think of it?
It was surprising. Sort of just came out of nowhere, but it's one of those trailers that just drops out of nowhere and everyone starts talking about it. And I sort of, when I clicked on it, thought this isn't good. This is just a gimmick movie. But like, I was blown away at like the cast of it, like how many great actors there are. There's Aldrich Ehrenreich from Solo is in it, like which is great to see. Just looks like a thoroughly fun kind of semi-horror movie, but like a horror comedy. It's a great idea, I think, and yeah,
I thought the music on the trailer was tremendous, and I think it just looked like fun.
Yeah.
Moving on, guys, there are two other quick trailers I want to talk about that kind of came later on in the day. The Boys Generation V. Have you seen that trailer?
Yes, yeah.
No.
Oh, again, I didn't realize that this was coming out. I certainly didn't realize it was far down. The trailer looks absolutely mental. Cannot wait to see that. It looked.
I've not watched the trailer yet, but is this is like a side plot to The Boys, isn't it?
Yeah, it's basically their kind of school for gifted. It's like X-Men, basically, isn't it? It's school for gifted kind of kids. But it looked insane. It looked gruesome. There was some excellent special effects, as you'd expect with The Boys. And I just love the puppet there. So yeah, it ticked all the boxes for me. You see that one, Ben?
Yeah. I'm on. You know, I love The Boys, so I do worry about spin-offs because you know you kind of watch spin-offs sometimes. And you just like I just want to be watching the main thing. You know, it never feels. Can we go one show without you bringing up Boba Fett? Unbelievable. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But like you know, for me, I'm a Boys fan, so that's where the expectations lie. If this is great, then it's a bonus.
Yeah, I can't wait. I love The Boys, so I'm hoping this is good. And then this last one, James, was this a new trailer out?
Yeah, just came out. Not last night, the night before.
Yeah.
Do you want me to explain what it is, James, and the what it's inspired by? I can go through the trailer and stuff with you if you want.
Yes, it's I didn't know what you were doing there. It was yes, it's the new The Last of Us trailer. We've only really had kind of a tonal piece for this show, but this trailer gives so much more insight into what the story actually is, and much better insight into the performances. I'm working on a video doing kind of a breakdown of it, so that'll be up tomorrow. But just in short, like I'm blown away by this. There's a lot of stuff in it that's not actually in the game. Like this shot you have on screen now, that's a joke where she's like pretending she's infected, and that's not in the game. And I thought that was very something I could imagine the character in the game doing. So like, it feels very kind of true in spirit to the source material. And
I guess it's going to be a bit like Walking Dead, isn't it? It'll not follow it kind of line for line. It'll be an interpretation of the game, I would imagine. Yeah,
well, there's a couple of original characters as well. But I think you'll have kind of moments of where they change stuff, but there is scenes lifted directly, and even lines of dialogue lifted directly. So
I mean, I have to say, some of the imagery within the trailer looked absolutely stunning. It was quite beautiful, some of it.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that, and I'm really looking forward to the series, just so we can come and give you a hard time about it, James, if you don't like it.
You will. You'll love it. You'll love it. It's gonna blow you away.
That feels like a challenge.
Yeah.
Okie dokie, guys. So that's what trailers. We're going to be on with the main part of the show. Just before we kick off, Ben, just a quick hello to Arissa Jack. Nice to see you, mate. Thank you very much for joining. It was lovely meeting you at Thought Bubble as well. So thank you very much for joining me. Okay, Ben. So off we trot with 1/6 scale figures.
Yeah, so as usual, we'll cover the Hot Toys announced and release first. So what I'm going to do this week, just because usually I go on and it goes on and on and on, I'm going to kind of summarize what's here on the screen and then see if anything stands out to you guys. So probably should have done my research because I've completely forgotten what that Clone Trooper is with the AT-RT, I want to say.
Yeah,
ST? It's a walker of some sort. Don't say like you know, Simon. We've got Gore the God Butcher there as well. And we got a 501st Clone Trooper reissue. So some controversy around that. But also some excitement because it was shown with the Dark Side Anakin, which is a reissue a lot of people are kind of clambering for. So a lot of speculation that they are going to do a 2.0 of the Dark Side Anakin to go along with these nice new shiny 501st. I think the reason they've reissued it is so that the color palette kind of matches a little bit more the aesthetic of the Obi-Wan series 501st rather than the original sort of 501st when we first met them. So yeah, and then of course front and center we got Shuri's Black Panther. So anything you guys are excited about on this slide?
It's called an ATDP.
DP?
Yeah, DP.
Well,
that doesn't make sure to laugh at that.
Out of all of the ones on there, I have to say none of them jump out, Ben. I have to say the God Butcher is an incredible sculpt, but I'm not sure I'll be picking it up.
Just even to go with your little Thor display.
Nah, I haven't got that.
You say that now.
A stronger connection. Yeah.
Wait until it's 180 pounds on a Facebook group and see.
I just haven't got that strong of a connection to the character. I don't think. I do love the head sculpt, mind. I think it's an amazing.
I don't like you mentioned it before, Peter. You don't like the arm. Is it the arm wings or whatever they're called?
Joints.
Your joints, yeah. They're a bit. You can notice them really well, like really bad there, can't you? And everything. Like it's. But I do like the Star Wars figures because there's a lot of Star Wars collectors, and I think if they're trying to do their whole trooper set or anything like that, these ones are a must. I mean, I wish Hasbro brought back more vehicles and did vehicle line again. Like the fact that it's in 1/6 scale and Hasbro are they're doing loads and releasing loads, but they just got rid of the vehicles line in the Star Wars, and I wish they brought it back.
I guess the Shuri, I love the suit. I like the figure. I haven't got obviously a Black Panther figure, but it comes back for me, Ben, to something you said a little while ago that I feel as well. The actress doesn't sit well with us for some reason.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I don't know if that's what makes us step away from that particular figure or what, but Yeah. No.
I'm just looking at the picture now. Do you think the body sculpt is a bit more generous maybe than it is in the movie?
She's incredibly slender, isn't she? So
Yeah.
you know, and I don't think it's a custom body. I think this is just the generic female body that they're using for it. So yeah, I think that's fair to say. I've got to say, guys, this clone trooper is one of the ugliest. It looks like Droopy McCall. Do you remember Droopy McCall?
Yeah.
Oh, hello. What floor? Do you remember? No, okay. I love that guy. But yeah, so the thing with the gore, I think you could do some really cool photography if you were able to sort of work a way to sort of, if you know, diorama makers and stuff, if they could do like a symbiotic sort of black diorama and stuff, that would be very nice. But yeah, but interestingly, very light on the announcements as opposed to the releases. Next slide, and it's not the releases. I can't trust the staff.
It was a beautiful segue as well. It was a beautiful.
It was so smooth. And then we hit the bump. So yeah, this is this is the releases page. So let's whistle stop tour then. So we got the Loki, very controversial because his hairline is all the way back if you take that helmet off. But this is essentially a 2.0 labeled under Endgame for the classic kind of Avengers Loki. We've got Bo-Katan and Axe Woves. So two of the Mandalorian alumni there. We've got Armorized Deadpool in his kind of Iron Man clad. It's horrible. Then we've got Captain Vaughn, I believe that is from the Clone Wars again. So there's one of the guys that serves in Ahsoka's troop. So that's a pretty cool release for any Clone Wars fans. We've got the Far From Home. No Way Home. Doctor Strange. We've got the White Vision, of course, from WandaVision. We've got the test suit, Tony Stark, whatever. We've got Cyberpunk, Keanu Reeves.
Yep, Johnny Silverhand.
That's the one. So guys, someone did their research. I wait for it, Simon. Wait.
Hold.
Stand firm. And then we've got the Hydra Stomper and of course little Steve Rogers there. So
what if?
Simon, what is your opinion on these?
That Hydra Stomper is really cool. Yeah, it's from the What If line, isn't it? So
yeah.
I don't know. What my favourite out of this? Probably the Doctor Strange. I love how it's splurting up like that. The Doctor Strange, and obviously I love the Stormtroopers, Ahsoka unit, anything like Stormtroopers, Boba Fett. But going back to Johnny Silverhand, that doesn't look like Keanu Reeves at all. No.
And they nailed his likeness in like the John Wick figures as well. So I don't know why. Yeah, why it just looks a bit off. I don't know.
John Wick Hot Toys though, or
yeah. And the
third party, is it? Oh, okay.
No, it's the current ones are Hot Toys, but there's a third party just been announced.
Okay.
And it looks amazing.
My guess is maybe they took like the scans from the game, so it's like the game version rather than being a real likeness or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, I agree. It does look
this is the sculpture using for that exclusive Matrix. What's the latest Matrix called? The latest
Revelations.
Revelation.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been that up.
I've tried to erase it from my memory, to be honest. Yeah, they're using the same sculpt, and yeah, I think a lot of the complaint is around his nose. That his nose goes down a little bit.
It's more his forehead as well, nose and forehead. I think. Yeah.
Interesting. I know Peter rolled his eyes at the armorized Deadpool there. There's one shot in their blogger pics for the armorized Deadpool that actually has a Deadpool head sculpt on, just from the normal Deadpool figure. and he's like holding the helmet, and for me it completely elevates the figure into kind of just feeling a little bit like higher end and just feeling more like Deadpool. And but so they missed a trick not giving the actual head as part of the release. But yeah, very ugly otherwise.
So for me, Loki probably, but I can't unsee the massive forehead. And I'm not sure.
Does the helmet come off? Do we know?
Yeah, no, it's got
yeah, that's what I was saying. He's got a hairline like yours, so people are upset.
Some of the shots just don't look good. But that said, the face looks really good. Doctor Strange, I do want a Doctor Strange, but I want to get. There's a one coming out after this, Ben, isn't there?
Yeah,
isn't
so
the one for Multiverse.
Yeah, and this is where they shoot themselves in the foot, really, Hot Toys, because they're so, they're churning out figures and churning out the same bloody characters like 2-3 times that it gets to the point where you get a release like this and people are just like, I'll just wait, because this one is pretty much the same as the Infinity War one, and the next one is the Multiverse from Madness one, which has a new sculpt, and that's a lot better. So
So I'll probably wait and get that one. Hydra Stomp, I'm completely on the. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, like, that'll go well with your Peggy,
Well, yeah, because she sits on his back.
She looks great, and it does come because I didn't know if it was going to come with a stand that holds the Stomper as if it's in flight, but it does. It does come with that, and it's clear and it looks really nice. But this is about 400 quid alone. 600 quid with Steve Rogers. So
you don't need Steve though if you're going to have him.
I wouldn't want Steve.
Yeah,
if I got this.
I'm not interested in Steve at all. I would want the Hydra Stomper maybe.
James,
I don't know.
What are you saying? No, that was a question, James.
What?
What are you saying? Are you interested, Bo-Katan? I thought that would be up your street, or.
No, I haven't picked up any Mando ones. Actually, funny enough, if I was to have any of these figures, it would be that Armorized Deadpool because I just like it for some reason. I don't know why. I literally cannot describe in a single reason why. It just calls out to me. I don't know. It's cool.
Does it speak to you? It speaks to you.
Yeah, I guess so. I think it would spark joy.
Okay.
If I was handed one of these, I would pick the Deadpool for some reason. So yeah, I don't know why.
Okay.
Also, as well, this White Vision, that shit's going yellow in like 4 years.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. So I've picked up. I don't know. I don't think you've got a slide, Ben. I've picked up the So Toys Omni-Man. And Omni-Man's obviously got quite a white costume. Well, it is partially a white costume. And he comes with a red cape. And apparently, there's been absolutely tons of issues with the cape.
Yeah, if you looked into that, you've got to dip it in hot water.
Well, they put a very funny tweet. Yeah, so they said soak it in hot water, then in vinegar, and then their advice was yeah. Well, it gets better. And then their advice was to coat your figure in Vaseline.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's
the figure.
Really worrying. Okay.
Not so keen on that one. I use Vaseline for other stuff. I'm not going to use it on my figures. Ben, these ones?
Yeah, so these are just some tease shots. Of course, we've already spoke about the Black Adam there, but interesting that they've thrown up this new teaser image that has the cape, because out of the 4 different SKUs or whatever for the Black Adam, different variations, the one that was supposed to be based on the end of the film didn't have the cape, and he wears the cape at the end of the film. So it was like, it's not accurate. But Hot Toys, I'll tell you, 5 years ago, Hot Toys would not have done this. They would have just gone, fuck you, you'll buy it anyway. But they've come out and they said, here's the cape, we listen, here you go. So that's great. And then we got a little teaser here of the yellow, red Daredevil branded as She-Hulk. Right. Great. I'm very happy with the release because it's very cool. It's Daredevil. I really liked the look of the outfit. I'm very annoyed that you wouldn't release a She-Hulk before you do this. Like that for me is disrespect. Like, you're branding it She-Hulk and you're not giving us a She-Hulk. Like that is disrespect to the character, to the actress, and to the show. And I will not stand for that slander.
As they're not even, because like in some of these they kind of tease another figure with like a hand or something that you can see in the corner. There's not even a glimpse of.
There's
not
not
been
even a
any hint, is there?
green.
Well,
There's no green in this image,
No.
other than on the logo She-Hulk.
I mean, we are joking, but you're right, Ben. That is pretty shit,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Particularly when I mean, I know we've not had a yellow and brown costume, but we have had a Daredevil figure before, so you kind of would have thought they would have gone for the She-Hulk.
I think they just know that this one will, like, being realistic, will sell more. I think.
Yeah, it's Hot Toys, isn't it? It's like, oh, it's a woman. It's not going to sell well for them, as well, and they don't do it, and it's frustrating because it's not. That's one market, There are other markets, and like I would seriously consider having She-Hulk in my collection if they dropped her. So, and we're still sat here waiting for Miss Marvel, and for me. That's disrespect as
and
well.
That's a figure that you could have so much fun with. You know what I mean? In terms of accessories.
Oh, massive fist or whatever would look amazing. Maybe they're just hanging fire till the Marvels film.
Marvels.
I don't know.
Yeah. As much as I do quite like the aesthetic of that Black Adam figure, and I love the lightning bolt on his chest, no interest at all. I wouldn't be picking that one up. Not
I
for me,
didn't like the film, so
yeah, I couldn't stand it.
Pass for me.
Okay, we mentioned this a couple of weeks back, and the next slide is kind of showing off some of the ones that came. Can you remember what our guesses were on these?
We got Old Man Logan and Rogue.
I think we got Dante. We guessed Dante,
Dante.
and it wasn't. Yeah. It was some shitty Spider-Man that nobody cares.
Yeah, we'll show the image in a second.
It was Noir, but Spider-Man, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think.
Oh
no, it's
No, it's I don't even know what that is.
It's from the Noir.
I've never seen that Spider-Man.
It's from the Noir universe, I think. Like
like an updated Noir suit.
I don't know, but
it looks like crap, doesn't it?
It looks just like that. Yeah. Oh god.
Great point. Sorry, Ben. That's a great point from Matthew. There, we've got the Guardians. Still haven't had a Mantis.
Yeah, well, Mantis was teased. They actually made a prototype of Mantis and showed her at Comic Cons, and yeah, we've just.
Is there Nebula as well? And
Nebula's out, yeah.
Nebula's out, yeah.
But, I mean, going back to this image, that Spider-Man is fucking atrocious, isn't it? It is. I mean,
why would you bring that type of Spider-Man out? There's so much better versions of Spider-Man.
Some people, like why they would choose this instead of another design.
Yeah. From the Spider-Verse, there's loads of better versions.
I suppose if you took the jacket off, you could almost say it's like the wrestling costume, maybe. I guess, but like what? Yeah, it's weird.
Guys, I'm going to need your help here. I've bought Invincible, even though Ben spoiled it for us by telling us it looks like
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. Thanks, Ben.
In the favour.
It's supposed to be an Asian child.
Yeah, I've bought Rogue, and he's just spoiled that by telling us that Chin could smash ice.
Jimmy Hill.
Jimmy Hill. Can't unsay that.
Yeah.
I've got absolutely no connection at all to Old Man Logan. I've got no love for the character at all. But I think
honestly, it's so versatile. Like
it looks mint
with the guns and the sawn-off gun, and the amount of display options you would have with this.
It's pretty cool.
The facial sculpt and everything. It does look good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The thing is, as well, there's so many Hugh Jackman sculpts out there. So if you really wanted to, you could pop a little Hugh Jackman head on.
I like the one that they have on it. To be honest,
it's cool. It's very comic booky.
Yeah. I don't know. It just, like I say, no connection to the character, but it just jumps out, that figure. I think it's it's an eye drawer on your shelf, isn't it? It looks pretty impressive.
No,
I actually like the Rogue. I think it looks all right.
Yeah. It'll work in the collection.
That color costume is one of the best, like you were saying, and I would get Invincible as well if I was collecting 1/6 scale.
Yeah. And the interesting thing with So is that they're quite open to people making suggestions about what they should put with the figures and different changes and stuff. So I know there's been a lot of feedback given about the Rogue figure. So hopefully they'll listen to some of that and make some.
I think she'll get a new head sculpt for sure.
Yeah. Who did we think that last character is then? something from Deep
Yes,
Samurai
the anime thing.
Champloo.
Shampoo.
Yeah, Samurai Champloo. It's an anime.
Samurai,
No,
Samurai
it's not going to be an anime one, is it? Really, it's got to be. I don't
That's
know.
from
No,
it's from like it's one of them. It's Berserk or something like that. One of those, or
Is
My
it?
Hero Academia.
It's from
one of them.
Demon Slayer, I think.
Maybe Demon Slayer. Yeah, that's what I mean, like one of those things. So
Ben, tell me what we think these ones are. Then these last few, because they're not announced yet, have they?
It's pretty much guaranteed, isn't it? Dr. Manhattan, The Witcher, Soldier Boy, and then Mr. Knight. I'd put.
I reckon that's
money
Mr.
on.
Negative, the last one.
nah, you think that'd be
Yeah.
cool? But I think it would have a sword display. I'd buy that in a heartbeat because I have my video game Spider-Man. But the way his hands are in his pockets, like, and there's no definition of hair on it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, it's
Mr.
more
Negative
like
would
the
have
Moon Knight.
a sword.
Could
Yeah,
be,
I think-
you know.
Very
I'm
cool.
hoping it is. That'd be great. I'd buy that.
Mm.
I have to say, yeah, I don't know if any of those jump out. Ben, are you going to get Dr. Manhattan for your Watchmen collection?
I don't know. So I'm at a precipice with my Watchmen collection where I've got my Rorschach and I just want a companion piece. I don't necessarily want to go for the team anymore. I've written that off in my head because the weight and the money and everything like that. So with Rorschach, I think you could put him with Dr. Manhattan and recreate the scene where he's like, do it.
Yeah.
Or my other option is probably having him with Night Owl, but Christ,
Yeah.
when's Night Owl out? Because if this isn't even
Mm.
teased yet, then Night Owl probably won't be teased till back end of next year, and then that won't be out till 2024. So yeah, I don't know.
Night Owl would be tremendous, but I love that costume.
Yeah. Oh, if they did
Um,
it with the winter,
Yeah,
the like
yeah.
stupid winter outfit he comes with as well. Yes, please.
Okie dokie, moving on. What the hell is
I
that?
need my
What's-
notes for this. So these are pick of the third party. So I'll just rattle through them. So you got Virtual Toys, Chainsaw Devil,
Chainsaw
from-
Man.
Yeah, Simon. Third parties. Okay. So with third party figures, if you've watched this show before, which you should have because you're fucking on it, right? Third parties have a different, they can't say the actual name. So they're all going to have different names, all right? So bear with me. So, Chainsaw Devil for us.
Man.
Virtual
Sorry,
Toys. And then, of course, we got the New York Butcher, and that's from Present Toys. So I'm quite excited for that release because I think Present Toys, who done a recent Mask release, they did the Indiana Jones. I think they do some pretty quality stuff, so that'll be good. This one isn't really a third party because it's official, it's licensed. It's the Kurt Cobain from Blitzway. Blitzway, of course, are probably best known one sip scale wise for their Ghostbusters release, and it's pretty good figure. You could maybe have like the Batman and then just have Kurt Cobain playing in the background, like just providing the soundtrack. No, you couldn't. That would be weird and stupid. Then you got Doom Monarch here, which is from S Hero. I've not actually. Pipe down, Peter, in the chat. Unbelievable. And then we've got S Hero, who I've never heard of, but this Doctor Doom looks phenomenal to me. Like,
Yeah,
I just
that looks
love
awesome.
the kind of comic book accuracy and everything like that. Very, very cool. One for James now. This is I don't even know what they're calling it. Yeah, I know what it is,
What's the
Simon.
1/6 name? The knockoff name.
Guys,
Is it-
he's got one more chance. All right.
Is it like
He's
War
got one more
God or
strike.
something like that? What do they call it?
It's Died Ragnarok or something. I don't even know what they're trying to go for here. Anyway, it's by One Toys, whoever they are. Again, I've never heard of them. The thing is with these third party companies as well, they relabel themselves to get around like getting prosecuted and stuff like that. So it can get quite hard. Competitive toys now, with a Cristiano Ronaldo and a Messi for those football fans out there. But
So,
we're a geek show, so I'm sure there's not many football fans watching.
Question: like, how do they get away with like Ronaldo and Messi, but you can't get away with Chainsaw Man? And
Well, hold on. I just said Ronaldo and Messi, but There's not even a name there.
They'll
Forward,
just be
they're
called
called, or
footballers,
something.
won't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
footballer or
Okay.
something like
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
I am.
just wondered.
I am tempted by that Doom ring, Ben. Does he come with the throne? Do you get the throne or
You
not?
have to buy that separate. Yeah.
I mean,
Nice though, innit?
when it first came out, I had a good look at it, and it I know we say this and it sounds ridiculous, but it does look very toy-like. But actually, when are we going to get a 1/6 scale Doom? You know,
Yeah,
it's going to be a
in
long
classic
time off.
format, you know.
Yeah, in full costume. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the sigh of defeat.
I'm interested, and this might be. I'm sure there's a massive market out there. Who's buying 1/6 scale footballers or Kurt Cobains? Is that a thing? Do people?
Yeah, I would say so.
Musicians is a big thing. You know, there's Hot Toys did a couple of Michael Jacksons, and you know, you got your Prince figures out there and David Bowie figures. I think there's a licensed David Bowie out there, and yeah, it's a thing, Peter. Might not be a thing for us, but it's a thing.
Yeah, people who just collect Nirvana stuff, just collect football, like Man United or Liverpool stuff. So
you could buy a little 1/6 scale Piers Morgan and have Cristiano Ronaldo bitch. As well.
The Kratos I'm a little bit sad about, because I it's based on his Ragnarok design, and I love that costume a bit more. Like, it has the leather going down the whole sleeve instead of kind of cutting off at the
Why does that make you sad then? Does that not make you happy?
He just looks off. Like, I think he's a little bit too skinny. The body proportions aren't quite right. The beard's a little bit short. Yeah, well, compared to the game, like the Mondo one is like the Hulk, and I think looking at that, it looks like what Kratos would look like in Fortnite. Like, it looks almost a little cartoony as well. So I don't know. I'll wait to see reviews. If reviews are good, I might swap my Mondo for it, because I do like that design more. Yeah. But yeah, I'll see anyway.
I think that's the thing with 1/6 scale as well, is that I'm learning is that just wait till they come out and you see reviews and stuff, because we sometimes talk about the disparity between a Hot Toys prototype image versus final product, and third parties are even worse for, like, sometimes they're being quite a leap from that prototype. So proceed with caution if you're going for the third parties.
I've ordered, as you know, a third party Thor, and I've just picked up the Sideshow Thor. So I don't know. I'm going to see what that one comes out like, and I might lose my deposit on that if I decide to just if the Sideshow one comes and I love it, I might bin the other one. We'll see what it looks like.
Yeah, you only need one classic.
Yeah. And the Sideshow is not classic, but it's near enough. Do you know what I mean? It looks the part. I'll see. I'm definitely not picking up footballers. Ooh, nice.
Yeah, so this was weird. This, like, within nights of each other, they announced two third-party Edward Scissorhands. So we got the Present Toys one is on the left. So whilst I've celebrated them, I actually, for me, that this is the worst one. I really don't like the rooted hair. I think that's bordering on Afro there. So yeah, it's not for me, that one. They're both called Scissorhands, but the other one is from a company called Art Figures. So Art Figures have done, I think they did like a Ray Stevenson Punisher, and they did who else did they do? I think they did Andy Serkis's character from Black Panther, Claw, and they did Crossbones, I think, a while ago, and they seem to be quite decent figures. But I think as a prototype, this looks phenomenal. This one on the right, from Art Figures. So I am very much in the market for this, but again, I'm not pre-ordering any third parties until I see them in person. And also, Peter and I, through experience, have decided on a new outlook with 1/6 scale figures, and that's #UK only. I know that makes us sound a bit BMP, but we've just had so many bad experiences between us through ordering from China, Hong Kong, America, Australia. You know, it seems like there's always a story, and I think we both just want to eliminate that stress moving forward. But it does make life a bit difficult with these third parties because it's just a lot rarer that they will then get listed secondhand in the UK. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, Ben. Absolutely. I'm currently in the midst of a nightmare with shipping. So I've got a package that's been sent from China, traveled all the way over here, landed in the UK, and then they couldn't read the label, so they sent it back to China. So rather irritated about all of that.
So annoying.
Matthew saying he likes getting hot toys secondhand, way cheaper.
Yeah.
I predominantly buy from eBay, Matthew. That's where I get the vast majority of my hot toys from. Oh, Ben.
Just awful. Peter sent me this today, so I don't even know who it's from. Who's it from? I can't even see. Fat Thunder. There you go. The thing is, this doesn't even make any sense because the outfit that he's in the far left, he'd got buffed by that point.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. It makes no sense.
Does he have like a pack on his gut in the movie, like during this scene, this kind of cross section?
Why is it?
It wasn't until I had a proper closer look there. That's a rooted beard as well, isn't it?
Oh, that'd be a disaster, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
I think that's
We covered it.
It's not going to come out the box looking like that.
I mean, I initially thought that was Mjolnir on his hip. It's not. It's a dumbbell.
He looks
on a little Pikachu, isn't it? That little.
He looks Amish. But the beard has this like.
I just never like. I can't. Why has he got a 6-pack on his belly? Because he never had that.
Wait, don't
that's
you?
What mine looks like.
I was going to say. I mean, maybe could commemorate the time I came on your show, Peter, in this get up, but no, it's
all joking aside.
Seamless arms though.
Yeah, the face sculpt of Chris Helmsworth above the beard doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, it isn't terrible.
Yeah,
and as I said, those seamless arms, you don't. It's like Hot Toys haven't done that on there.
Yeah, but there's no images of them bending in any way, really, is there? They're like.
Yeah, they'd split if you bend them too much.
Yeah. Horse crap. Not buying that. He says now. Probably going to pre-order it. Okie dokie. Thank you very much, Ben. Anything you guys want to ask about 1/6 scale before we move on?
Q&A.
No, moving on.
Yeah. Alrighty, let's get this show started. So, first up, Remedy announces Control 2. I don't know if any of you is familiar with Control.
Yeah, I played Control. It was good.
Yeah, and the other guy. So it's Peter, you'd like it definitely. It's sort of a semi-superhero game, but you're kind of this. You have like telekinesis and levitating abilities, and a lot of people describe it as very kind of X-Men-y.
She builds her powers up the further you get along the game, and it's really cool. Like she just grabs stuff and throws it.
There's this kind of like techno mystery kind of thing to it as well. It's a really cool game. But Remedy is the studio. They made Max Payne, the original Max Payne games.
Oh yeah, I remember them.
Yeah, and Alan Wake as well. So this is actually the third game they've announced to be in development at the moment. They're doing a Max Payne remake and Alan Wake 2 as well. So it's they have a lot on their plate anyway. But they typically appear at the Game Awards, so I'd imagine we'll see a bit more of this or one of those other games then. Speaking of the Game Awards, all the nominees have been announced. I thought I did tell you a few days ago, the Game Awards is like in a couple of days, and I'll have loads of news, but I actually mixed the dates up. It's next week. So I thought I'd have all this news, and then realized the other day, and I was like, okay. But yeah, there's a Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, A Plague Tale, Requiem, Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So those are the nominees. I think most people
not just the nominees. There's other categories, isn't there? And
there's loads of kind of best sound design, audio mixing, and I think every genre.
So what are those? What category are those in?
Is that Game of the Year?
This is Game of the Year for overall.
Game of the Year.
Yeah. So I would have said Stray is that kind of cat game that I showed a few episodes ago.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Looked
yeah,
good.
yeah. So like, I'm surprised that's up here, but like it's between Elden Ring and God of War. Really.
Stray was good. I enjoyed that game.
Yeah. I would have said Elden Ring just because like when that came out first, and that was sort of everybody said one of the best games of all time. But God of War, the last one, had kind of an upset victory a few years ago because basically Red Dead 2 it was up against, and Red Dead had swept every award, and then it just won God of War 1 at the end of it. So
which one, James? Sorry, mate. Which one was the one that you said got pretty much straight 10s recently? Was that God of War?
Both God of War and Elden Ring pretty much got 10s
right.
across the board. Yeah. So yeah, like it's between them. I would say I'd lean towards God of War. I'd say God of War. I'll probably take it, but we'll see anyway. Elden Ring's a bit more unique design wise, so maybe whoever's voting will lean towards that. So yeah, I'm interested to see. I would ask you with what you think, but I'd say two people here haven't played any of these.
I'm going Stray. I think Stray is definitely going to.
Stranger things have happened. There has been like some, an indie game takes it at the end of the night. So like, yeah, I wouldn't say never, but
do you know what Stray is, Peter? Have you played it?
Yeah, we've just talked about it. It's the cat game, yeah.
Yeah, it's a cat game. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Which one are you going for, Ben? Stray.
Stray, because I actually watched a little IGN review video on that, and it was quite looked like good fun to play as a cat.
Yeah. I actually would like Horizon to win, but yeah, I think
that's my input into the conversation.
Yeah, there we go. All right, this one really grabbed me. James Gunn has announced that kind of he's consolidating all of DC. So the animated shows, the movies, and the games are all going to be one universe. Now, I remember like going back years, I always found it strange that Marvel never did like MCU sesh like original games, like introduce Ghost Rider with his own game, and then that version would go on to be in the movies. Yeah. My feelings on that have changed more so lately. Like the Spider-Man game, for example, when that was announced, I was like, oh, why isn't it Tom Holland? But I see that it gives the developers more freedom, and you could potentially create a better version of the character. So yeah, I'm curious to see what you guys kind of think of this.
I'm curious because the Suicide Squad game is not finished yet, and that can't tie into the films because it's completely different.
Yeah, that's set in the Arkham universe, the Arkham Asylum games.
Oh, it is actually.
Yeah,
right. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, there is a Wonder Woman game also in development, so I wouldn't be shocked if they maybe bring Gal Gadot in and set it in that universe then, because that's probably not too far along. Yeah.
Probably be better than 1984, wouldn't it? Let's be honest.
Do you know what? You do have a lot of freedom with that because they could set it anytime. You could put it in the 70s or something.
Yeah.
I would like a good Justice League game. I have to say, I wouldn't, because I don't think I've ever really had a version of Superman, and obviously Batman from the Arkham games. I absolutely love them, but I don't think I've ever had a proper Superman game. There's a mode on the PC for Grand Theft Auto where you can kind of mod it to be Superman, and that's amazing.
Well, we never really had a Superman's notorious for bad games, and like there have been a few that looked quite promising and then wound up getting cancelled. But I'm thinking like the one project I would love. Imagine they do like the Ben Affleck Batman movie, but it's a game.
The thing
Ben
is,
Affleck and Joe
just give me the Ben Affleck bloody film so I can watch it. I can't have a console.
You watch all the cutscenes.
Raging.
I don't think it's gonna work.
No.
I think doing a DC game for how long? I know the Snyderverse has come out, but do you know what I mean? For how long the movie is, like the plots and everything, I just don't think it would work. I don't think it would be do very well.
Well, I'm curious though if it is going to be like say they do a Constantine game, and that's establishing that area of the universe, or it will be like a Henry Cavill Superman game.
They've already got like things like DC Universe Online, which is an MMO, and like and okay, it's not as detailed and action packed, but that's already got a big following for DC fans.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they're gonna like pull that away. The Suicide Squad game will be finished, and that will be a Rocksteady Arkham Sesh one.
Can't wait for
Wonder
that.
Woman. Wonder Woman could go either way as well.
Mm.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting going forward, like when we'll see this actually come about. But I'm very curious about that. Next, anyone else? Any other things to say about that before we move on? No. So Peter, me and you got to kind of talk a little bit about this last week on This Week in Metropolis.
Yeah.
But I was curious, wanted to get Ben and Simon's opinions. So EA, they have a 3-game deal with Marvel. One of them is an Iron Man game, but it's a rumor, but more like one of those things where like it's not really a rumor, it's a leak. Everybody kind of knows that this is happening. But EA is doing a Black Panther game where Black Panther, like T'Challa, dies at the start, and you play a character that you create and become the new Black Panther.
Okay.
Thoughts?
Mic drop.
Yeah, I mean, I know you mentioned the elephant in the room before about white people making themselves the Black Panther and how that maybe doesn't look great. So that's funny. But I think it's a very cool concept. Like if you maybe have the option of like 10 tribes or whatever, and each tribe has someone that you can pick, and then so you pick that, that individual from that tribe, and then you customize the gear kind of based on things that honor the tribe and stuff like that. Like I think there's so much there that can be done with it, and yeah, I think it's a really intriguing concept, and Black Panther as a playable character is just going to be so much fun, just kind of with the different abilities and stuff like that, and yeah, visually I think you could do a lot here. So yeah, no, is it EA the guys who did the Guardians game?
No, that was Square Enix. So EA haven't really done much Marvel stuff. Lately, like going back to like Marvel Nemesis,
yeah,
we haven't seen
Nemesis.
Marvel Nemesis, remember that?
Oh
one?
yeah, I played that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I think that was the last EA Marvel game, as far as I can remember. Anyway.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't think it's very good at all.
I think to be honest, I think it's a terrible idea. Yeah,
I think it's a really terrible idea to do this. Yeah. I really do.
Yeah, just imagine like if this was any other character. Like imagine it was, we're doing a Spider-Man game, but you're not Peter Parker. Peter Parker dies at the start, and you play as a new Spider-Man that you create. I'd be like,
I don't know in terms of sensitivity how great it is having T'Challa die at the beginning, because at least with the film you had Ryan Coogler, all of the cast involved. It was very much a love note from people that knew Chadwick, and if you're going to kind of almost profit from that in the game without people who actually have the connection, that might not sit right. So yeah, maybe not so good.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like certainly this wouldn't be happening. You would just be playing T'Challa if Chadwick Boseman didn't pass away, and we have a movie where.
But why not just give us a Black Panther game with T'Challa?
Yeah,
that's why I would prefer that
comic book version and do it like Spider-Man, and yeah.
Well, I'll just pull an MCU and make it T'Challa's son, also called T'Challa.
Wow.
that's not my character.
My name's Greg, but my real name is T'Challa.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Yeah, so some recent releases. God of War Ragnarok came out last month. I've had the chance to play through the story at least, and it's excellent. Really enjoyed it. Some great kind of portrayals of certain characters. Thor, in particular, I was quite surprised with the route they went with it, but like an excellent performance by Ryan Hurst. I don't know if it's like 10 out of 10, one of the best games ever made for me. Because the last game for me was, and this feels like not that big of a leap forward, the way that game did. So I haven't finished all the side quests and 100%ed it, so I might feel differently when I get to the end, because the side quests are quite central to it. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, it's great time playing that. The Callisto Protocol. So this is from the Dead Space creators, and it's kind of a spiritual
it's had a bit
successor.
of bad reviews, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's came out like it looked really cool.
Literally, was it been out like 2-3 days?
2 or 3 days. Yeah, it came out on the 2nd, I think. Technical issues. I think a lot of people complaining about the game being buggy, the story being a bit bland, and the gameplay not being that great. So I think that's always sad when you see one of these kind of big budget.
It always reminds me a bit of Death Stranded. So
yeah, a little bit. I think that kind of the setting definitely. But yeah, it is a love letter to Dead Space because it's by a lot of the people that created the original one, and that's such a beloved series. It's kind of sad to see this kind of fall this way, but hopefully after a few patches, maybe it'll fix kind of what people take issue with. And then Marvel Midnight Suns has come out to rave reviews. It's a card-based combat system, so I'm not going to play it, but
me and Peter would be getting it. I think I would be getting it. So.
How do you mean? So I get the mobile phone games that Simon bought with the other day. I get that card-based system. How does that work in a game like this?
I don't know, Peter. That's why I can't play them because I don't really understand.
You move around with you've got like 2 or 3 of the characters, and you're taking it in turns of each character, and the card does a move against a row of enemies. So you can like a card like
a bit like so that sounds like how the Final Fantasy games used to happen, just not with cards. You each took a turn.
Yeah, you take turns. It's turn-based. It's turn-based.
Okay.
Like watching.
Moving on, James. Moving on.
Watching some of the gameplay, it does look quite nice. Like this, if,
I don't want to
punches someone, they slam into the wall. I don't want
to wait to take my turn. Like I want to fucking go when I want to go.
That's not how all games work, man. And
stupid.
I may sit down and watch all the because I think the story is quite interesting. I've watched some of the prequel animated shorts that have come out in the last few weeks.
They look amazing.
Really like the setup. I think Lilith is a really cool character. I don't know that much about as well. So I don't know if I can really be. If it wasn't, gosh, I wish it wasn't this combat system. Like, and I'm sure it is a great one if that's what you're into. And
how other combat system could it be with so many characters?
Just press square.
Fight when you fight,
Yeah, but no, you know what I mean. You can't. You'd have to go through each character unless the AI was taken over, which wouldn't be as fun.
No, you could just do like Ultimate Alliance style.
Yeah.
If it was like that, I probably would have gone.
Yeah, what a game.
Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks cool. Like the look of it, but yeah, not my genre anyway. So I'll be giving that a miss. And then is this the last slide, Peter?
No idea.
No, okay. Let's do this. So Troy Baker is
bitch.
Troy Baker is sort of a very prolific voice actor in the video game industry. He's played Joel in The Last of Us and Delsin in Infamous and a few others in like BioShock, and he's played Batman a few times. He's said he wants to play Daredevil in a video game and possibly direct it.
He looks like he could be Matt Murdock in this picture.
Yeah, for me, like I'm as an autograph guy, don't like when certain people play too many different characters because I'll be inclined to get several things signed. I know it's a weird thing, it's just a me thing, but like he plays the Joker in Arkham Origins, so the Joker thing signed.
I don't like when people are so talented that they play multiple people. You only
play you one. Just stay in your lane, Troy, and just be Joel, okay?
Stop having a career.
Screw you, Johnny Depp, for being a character actor.
But I know it is a weird thing, but that's how I feel. But like I think he would be really good there. But the fact that he wants to direct as well, I think is interesting. He has no experience in that department, but as an actor, he has worked with some of the best game directors around. The Naughty Dog, The Last of Us, and God of War, and all those. So yeah, I think it'd be interesting, but it's a what if thing. I don't think it's telling him anything in development. But I would love a Daredevil game. I think he could if he did this like hyper detailed Hell's
Daredevil
Kitchen
game over the Black Panther game. Yeah.
Same, definitely. Yeah, I think it'd be great. Like I can imagine like you could like do like little investigations and it impacts cases that you have, and like your side quest would be, like lawyer cases
and everything.
It'd be awesome. So yeah,
just like
did you just say your side quest is lawyer cases?
Like press X to counter.
Strenuously object.
A woman like you could do things as Daredevil that impact like a case that you have, and
Yeah,
there's like dialogue.
You go into
options.
She-Hulk's
I think it would
case or
be-
something.
You
I'm
laugh.
with you, James.
You laugh, but it would be.
they
It would
got
be
the
cool.
audience got what you meant, James. It's
Yeah,
just
Yeah, yeah.
being pricks.
Yeah, you just get some Matt Murdock stuff in there. I want to do some lawyering. Objection. You know?
Objection.
Exactly.
Lawyer again.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving
Circle
on.
objection
guys.
overall.
Yeah.
moving on, James.
Oh,
Star
can't
Wars Jedi
wait.
Survivor. The release date has leaked. This is going to show up at the Game Awards. next week.
Outfits
I'd imagine
amazing.
we'll see
March
some
is it?
gameplay.
The release.
March 15th. So there is a tie-in. It was kind of assumed that was roughly when it was going to come out. There was a tie-in book that's coming out like a week earlier. That was announced last week. So I think everybody kind of assumed, yeah, mid-March would be when it's coming out, which is only like 4 months away.
Is it a novel or a comic?
Novel. So I'll pick up the audiobook because I think they'll probably get like
Just let me know what happens because I can't read.
Yeah. The fifth brother. I know the fifth brother's on the cover for the book, so he's in it as well. I'm stoked for this. I think like the last Fallen Order was one of the best, like probably the best Star Wars game I've ever played.
Yeah.
Really sunk into that one. And sequels typically are improvements over their predecessors. So like I think this one might nail the story, and the every issue that I have with the first one will probably be gone in this. I also like that Cal has a blaster, so I'm curious how that will factor into the gameplay. And some pre-order stuff was sort of leaked with it. So there's like, if you pre-order, you get like a scoundrel outfit, which I think is like a Han Solo jacket and like
Luke Skywalker ceremony. Yeah.
So yeah, it looks great.
I mean, this outfit's dope though, like the redesign and really nice.
It's not just gonna be ponchos at least, so that'll be good. Oh, you only watched the cutscenes, Ben, didn't you?
Do you think
I sat there and I watched 3 hours of cutscenes.
is Vader back in it? Is Vader back in it? I know
we honestly we know almost nothing about the story.
okay.
So yeah, next week we'll have some big reveals. I think of some gameplay and maybe who the main villain will be. So that's
Good
that.
stuff. Looks good. I reckon I could rock that outfit for Star Wars convention next year. I think to dye me hair ginger again.
I mean, I would I would love like a lightsaber blaster. I like an Outlaws lightsaber blaster combo. So I mean, something I go for.
That'd be cool.
Definitely, yeah. And then I talked about this a little bit on What If last week, but I have been recently playing the Guardians of the Galaxy game that came last year, and it is phenomenal. Just some images here from like the photo mode, which is beautiful. Some really great costumes. The story is really fun. It's like the setup is sort of, you get a fine from the Nova Corps and you have to like kidnap a monster to sell to Lady Hellbender to pay for it. But it's got a lot of heart to it, and I think the characterizations here are perfect. I did, coming out of this game, think that I like these versions more than the movies, and then I watched the holiday special and I was like, oh, I do love the movie version. So I think they are like on par. But I think a part of that is it's a 15-hour game and you're together as a team for most of it. So like you get to talk to Rocket quite a lot, and he talks a bit about his backstory. Drax talks a lot about his family, and Star-Lord's backstory is much more into it. Like you see kind of flashbacks to when he was a kid and his mother, his relationship with her and everything. So it's really phenomenal, sort of overlooked and underrated game. So if you're in the Guardians mood after the holiday special and the new trailer, you can pick I think it's free on Game Pass, and you can pick this up for like 15 quid on PlayStation. So I'd really strongly recommend giving this a go.
I'm definitely playing.
Yeah, it's excellent. But the photo mode, I've had hours just messing around in the photo mode. You can do the little comic book covers, do poses and stuff. So yeah, it's fantastic.
Can you nick Drax's? I've heard you can nick Drax's soap and stuff, can't you?
I think I missed that. I did. There is a bit where
that's the selling point for you. The whole game.
It's possible because you can go in the bathroom, and I was curious why. So that must be why. But there is like nice little character interactions like that. Like there's a bit where you also can make like choices in it. So there's a bit where you have to get across a chasm, and Drax wants to throw Rocket, and you can tell him either to put him down or throw him. And if you throw him, he's just fuming at you for the rest of the mission. And there's other choices that can affect like how a level will play out, like stealthily or like a big action sequence. So like it's phenomenal. I'd really recommend everybody just go. Yeah. So there we go. I think that is everything. Yep.
Next, marvelous. So just before we move on to the last bits of the show, which is Simon's smaller figures and show and tell, we'll just do quickly our coming soon. So stuff that's coming up. As usual, just a bit of a shout out to the UK live streams. This week, Metropolis isn't on this week. They're on a break now until after Christmas. We've got the Nerd Herd on Wednesday, and they're reviewing Christmas books. We've got the Killer Comic Show on Thursday, which I'm going to be on this week. And then we've got the Grey Man's Show on Saturday. James, did you want to mention this?
Yeah, so I have the new Last of Us trailer. I have a breakdown video that will be out tomorrow. So I'll be going through kind of some of the little Easter eggs and nods to the games and just my kind of overall opinions. This will probably be, it's weird because I've been talking about this show basically for the entire lifespan of my channel.
Yeah.
Like the show is why I basically why I started the channel. So it'll be interesting. This will probably be the last video I have about it before it actually comes out. So,
are you going to do a live review or something?
Yeah, I'll be doing a weekly live show. Be a Firefly Chats special. So I'm hoping to have you guys on for that weekly. Anyway, we'll try and time it so it works for everybody. But yeah, so that's the next one.
Good stuff. Ben, I just wanted to do a quick shout out to you because you really picked up your game with the short content lately. And just to encourage everybody to go and check that out. I absolutely loved your Nightmare Before Christmas one. I've not seen that film yet. I need to watch that movie. Some tremendous Godzilla stuff, your indie stuff, obviously, and your Halloween stuff's absolutely brilliant. And
the Wakanda Forever review is my favorite.
Yeah. Was that? Yeah.
Did you
never
talk underwater? That's crazy.
Ben, where do you get these like little things from?
Just combination of editing software and filters and stuff like that. And
cool.
Yeah. Thanks, Peter. Enjoy it while it lasts, because I don't think I want to do anything ever anymore. But thank you anyway. Go stuff. And enjoy the backlog.
Yeah. Few things coming up on my channel. So next Monday we have got What You're Watching. And we're going to do a Phase 4 special. So we're going to review all of the Phase 4 kind of stuff briefly. We'll not obviously talk about each one in detail, else we'll be here all night. But this is based on the kind of the narrative that we hear a lot of negative stuff about Phase 4. And me and James were talking in the car on the way back from Comic-Con, saying, actually, it's not that bad. We've just become a bit moany and twisty about it.
I would say it's pretty good, actually. Yeah. Like, it was a pretty good phase. So
looking forward to doing that, and that'll be interesting. Saturday 17th, we've got Hot Sauce Challenge Night. That's going to be mental. I'm going to be ill, I think, with that. So we're going to be talking comics and doing some hot sauce dipping. We've got a Christmas hangout on the 19th. So that's also going to tie in with a giveaway. So I've got a load of comics to hand out. So we'll be doing that on that night as well. Okie dokie. Show and tell, gentlemen. So this is the bit where people look blankly and realize I haven't brought anything. Simon?
Give me 1 second because I do have something.
I'll get something down. It's all right. I did nearly forget. But let me go first then, since I got this. So I've got this. This is just from my shelf unit in my office. I have these lot of anime figures, but one of them I've picked up before. It's one of my favorites. It's Attack on Titan.
All right.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Really nice. So.
Very nice.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to collect more anime. These are like your PVC statue animes, so I've got quite a few of them. I'm going to go be collecting some more soon, because obviously my Star Wars are getting more and more expensive. My Star Wars ones, so I've got some more Star Wars from the Obi-Wan ones, which I'll show another time. But yeah,
I've not read Attack on Titan, but Chris from Off My Shelves was talking about it the other night in the show I watched. He said it's absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah, the anime is unbelievable, and the story is amazing.
Yeah. So. And is it a one that's actually ended?
No. So we're sort of stuck on season 4, and they've left it sort of like a cliffhanger, going back, and it's still not fully finished. But what happened is a studio did season 1, 2, and 3, and then they sort of went, I think,
I'm more on about the books, Simon. I'll probably
The manga books haven't finished either.
Okay,
So it's
yeah.
like that. Sometimes your manga books are like so far behind the anime, but
Yeah.
they are releasing the manga, and but it's still not finished yet.
One I'll pick up, I think. James, what you got?
Well, Peter, I got a Meow Meow.
Oh,
So this
You've got
comes
what?
with the
a
Meow Meow.
Molyneux. A
Meow
Molyneux. A
Meow Meow.
Molyneux.
Meow.
Meow Meow.
Molyneux.
In the Dark World, she's like, oh, it's Meow Meow.
Yeah, got you. Let's have a
This is based on the since came
I
with the
got the
Ragnarok
reference.
collective
I got
edition. Thank you. Just always reliable. It's nice and weighty. Like it just feels good in your hand. Like it makes me want to do like
I've heard that one before. Yeah.
a God of makes you want to do like a God of War. You just feel powerful. Honestly, I am tempted
What's
to do
it
a
made
God
from?
plastic. Yeah, but it's pretty good. It's nice and weighty. I'm tempted to do a God of War Thor cosplay. Maybe to
You've got to.
That'd be quite cool. Yeah, the only thing is like I would need like a skin colored top because I'm not going shirtless in March, or ever.
it.
So yeah, I'm thinking about because Ryan Hurst, who plays Thor, is asked that next Dublin Comic Con. So that'd be cool to get a photo with him with dresses Thor with Mjolnir.
I like the design of it, mind. I have to say, it does.
Yeah, it's
look pretty
called.
cool.
It's very runic and kind of old school,
Yeah.
and the shape of it and everything.
Is it solid inside or is it quite?
No, it's hefty. Like it's a nice
Yeah.
weight
So
to
it's
it.
not.
Yeah.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a good one. Yeah. So
Good stuff. I'll just quickly show you what I've got. So I don't think I've showed these before. These are the Marvel chess set. Have I showed you these before?
No.
Don't think I have. So I've got the full chess set. Some of them are really nice little renditions there. The Absorbent Man in particular, I really like. I think that's a nice image of
My
Paul.
boy Creel.
Yeah, I think that's a really
Crusher
nice
Creel. Yeah.
turn to stone. So quite like that one. Venom is particularly good. These are really quite fragile. I've dropped a few and smashed a few, but never mind.
Oh, no.
But yeah, but it's a nice chess set. Worth picking up. You can get it relatively.
Who's the king on it and queen?
The king is Captain America, and the baddie king is Red Skull. Queen, I think, is it Lady Hydra? And Captain Marvel, I think it is. Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, it's a nice set. Ben, did you have a chance to grab something or not?
No, man. I've got no money. It's Christmas. Fuck my life.
Very nice. Cheers, Andy.
Thanks for joining. Good timing.
Fuck my life. Yeah. And on that note,
Peter, what is that? What's that behind you anyway? That toy behind you. What's you sat on from
who are you
He-Man?
talking to?
What's
Oh,
the
me,
thing behind?
right.
Yeah.
With that,
Yeah. What's it? What is that like?
that's a horse. It's Man
Oh,
at
it's a
Arms
horse.
on Stridor. Mechanical horse
Right.
from
Okay.
He-Man.
I see.
Okie dokie. So back on with the show, and we have next got. There's my little arrows. We have got
Small scale.
small scale. Where's my little button? Right then,
Simon, that music now.
Simon,
Yeah.
your moment to shine. Because I'm just going to be honest, you've struggled in past months to remember.
I have. Yeah. I have.
names
Yeah.
and things,
Let's go. I don't know what slide order you've done, so let's just go.
no,
Let's go.
no.
Let's do this. You
Let's
got
just
this, man.
go. Let's do this.
Oh, here we go. All right. So, centre. There we have.
Off to a great start, Si. Wednesday, Adams.
Wednesday.
Yeah,
Wednesday Aaron would sing, and yeah, it's a really cool doll. I showed it to Ben, and yeah, it's not a figure as such, but Ben will know where it's from.
I'm not.
You know?
This is your bit.
Simon, is
I-
this from the new Netflix series? I assume. Is it?
Yeah, it's straight from
That's
the new.
nice.
I
Netflix series,
research
yeah.
my bit, you research your bit, James research his bit. That's how this show
how it
works,
goes.
Simon.
I'm getting a
It's
migraine.
from Mezco Toys. It's part of the
That's it. Mezco Toys.
Living Dead Dolls range. So they did previously do some Addams Family stuff, but it's pretty cool to kind of get some immediate Wednesday merch out there for the series. So yeah, I'd kill for a 1/6 scale Wednesday figure. Either Christina Ricci or Jenna Ortega, like either would be great.
Still not seen the series. Thomas is desperate. My son's desperate to watch it, but not getting to
I've
it
seen
yet. But
I've seen the dance sequence that everybody's
Oh, the
talking
dance
about.
sequence
It's
is
quite-
amazing.
quite good,
It's one of my
which is
favorites.
amazing.
I've watched it again and again. Right, and then on the right hand side, we've got obviously new McFarlane Avatar figures. So ready for the film. So it's quite cool. I wouldn't mind getting myself one of the mechs myself, and maybe one of the new flying creatures there. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, and then on our left, we've got some new release by Hasbro. And I do have what these are called. I didn't know what these Marvel figures were, by the way. Like, and not many people would. Right, the woman is
random zero. Some of them.
so we've got Vertigo, which
Mhm.
is the woman. We've got the Strife, which is the bloke with the big armor, metal armor. We've got Marvel's Random. I've never heard of Random.
Just
but,
random. Just random.
Just random. It is random.
Seems like a random inclusion.
Get
Then
out.
then we've got Marvel Zero, and then
Just
we've got
zero.
just Zero, is it? Just
Yeah.
not Marvel Zero, and then Pretty Boy. So
That's
Is
better.
that the character's name? Pretty Boy.
yeah, that's what his
Yeah.
name is. Pretty Boy.
No, I've never heard of that. What's the team called?
I don't think they are a team. I know one of them's from the X-Men.
What's the-
They
what's
are. They're the
theme of the
are they
pack?
Marauders
Marauders? Yeah.
roster, I
Roger.
think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, all right, yeah.
Uncanny X-Men pack or something. Villains pack or something.
Andy, you can take him.
No, but Random has been in the X-Men actual team though, hasn't he? So
He was an X Factor. Random was an X Factor for a few years, wasn't he?
yeah.
Cool.
Good stuff.
Marvelous. Moving on.
Here we go.
Oh,
So
come on.
this-
You can do this one. You can do this one, Simon.
I can do this one. I can do this
Yeah.
one. So this is McFarlane's new range. You know what I love about McFarlane figures? They're so articulate and they're so really detailed, and they're a lot cheaper than Hasbro at the moment.
Yeah.
A lot.
They're like they're NECA quality for Hasbro price.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. So we've got it's armored Batman. It's but this is like a version. So there's two versions of Batman here. So you've got your sort of armored one there, and then there's a barbarian one version, if you can see up the top there, right? So that's pretty cool. I like the barbarian version. It's pretty cool.
Armored version's
Then
from Kingdom Come, isn't he? Is
I
it the
don't know.
Kingdom Come
I
version?
wouldn't know my DC. So then we have the Riddler, which it looks really cool with his question mark.
Arkham version.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then we have Mr. Freeze,
I believe also Arkham.
Arkham Asylum
Well,
version.
that's a very cool looking Mr. Freeze, mind. I have
Yeah.
to say, it looks.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like the
it's
armor
like
and whatnot on him, and that's
Yeah.
the classic Freeze. I like that design with the red goggles and everything.
Mm,
Yeah.
Well,
Let's
yeah.
get on one more day, Peter. The Mr. Freeze one.
I've
good.
bought it, but I haven't read it yet.
Very
So
good.
yeah,
Fair,
And
fair,
then
fair,
we've
fair.
got Shazam from the new movie that's coming out.
Right.
So I don't know if there's already a Shazam figure out. I know that there's other Shazam figures, but this is the first one. I don't know the actor's name.
Zachary Levi.
Okay.
Did they ever do a 1/6 scale? They didn't, did they? Of Shazam?
No, so they teased. Hot Toys did do a teaser image, and then they've clearly just decided not to do it. But I think their intention is to do it for the new Gods film. And it'll. I mean, there's a companion piece with Black Adam. It's sort of, it's a no-brainer really, isn't it? Sat on money.
And this is where it goes wrong because I know it's the Flash, but I don't know what the
Jay
old Flash-
Garrick. Is that
Jay
right?
Garrick.
The original Flash. Yeah.
There we
The
go.
worst
And I like that. I
outfit
do
in
like
comic
that.
book history.
Yeah. I do like that.
But it's a
sort of-
classic. It's a
Right.
classic. Some people want it. So
I love
But
it.
yeah.
I would pick that. I'm a big Flash fan, and I love Jay Garrick. So yeah, that's the one I would probably pick up.
I'll probably get that Riddler.
No,
Now
I
this
agree.
one,
Oh, my
this
Batman
one,
and
I'm definitely
Joker.
picking up. This is you've seen Peter. I've got those new VHS ones.
Yeah.
So I've got them all now. So apart from the Mystique with the baby, which is really weird.
Yeah.
So there's a Mystique one with her baby like Nightcrawler coming out.
Nightcrawler.
So,
Yeah.
this
Coming
is
out. Oh, come on.
It's not-
coming out of her.
coming out. Yeah, it's not.
Jesus.
There's an action figure you want. God.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so this is a
Gross.
4-pack. And I think this is the 90s version. Or was it
Uncanny X-Men 275 Jim Lee sort of tribute.
version? Yeah. So you've got your Wolverine, your Storm, your Gambit, and then Banshee. So yeah, I really want to get this set. So
I love that costume as well. I do like that color scheme.
Storm is actually my favorite, I think, on there, and yeah.
Excellent.
hmm And this is a new HasLab that I've just checked, and it's actually, even though the last HasLab, the Ghost Rider, failed, this one is called Deathsaur Transformers HasLab, and it's done its job. It's done and won.
And how long?
In how long? Let me check. So 7 days and 9 hours, and it did it. It's back in
what did-
total.
What did you say he was called, Simon?
It's Deathsaurus. Deathsaurus. It's a
Never heard
new
of
one.
that
I
one.
think they've designed. Yeah, I've never seen it on the Transformers.
Oh, this is like an original, like brand new Transformer.
brand new Transformer.
Okay,
that
yeah,
was
that's
designed.
interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't think they were
Deathsaurus.
even making that anymore.
They've
but,
been
like,
designing it and showing like it in grayscale, and then this is like the first colored scheme version of it, and they've seen it transform Deathsaurus.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. They might, with it being so popular, they might put it in the movie or something. You never
yeah,
know.
What does
I
it
think,
transform into, Simon? Do you know?
It's like a flying dragon,
I
Deathsaurus.
don't think. Sorry, not to fact check you or anything, but I think he was a character.
Do you reckon it was
Hasbro haven't made him? He was a character.
Well, no,
already.
they were doing some designing of what it would look like before they did the color version in 3D renders. So, but you are right. They're probably. I don't know what it's been out of Deathsaurus. I've never heard of Deathsaurus.
Yeah, I've not heard of that one.
No,
Not heard of him.
but it was for £190. It was so a lot cheaper than obviously the Ghost Rider, which is why it's done its back in at 11,000 target, which was good.
Nice. I'm happy you included this.
Yeah, Phil, absolutely right, mate. The Ghost Rider was a right mess up. We talked about that in the last show. It was poop.
Mhm.
Simon, next.
I did not add this one in.
You did. You did.
Did I?
Yeah.
I can't remember. So
We're just joking, Simon. This is James's slide.
this is I definitely
You're
did
gonna
send
get
this one
that
to
going
Ben.
a lot longer. You bottled it, Peter.
I bottled it because bless him, he was sweating, man. He was sweating.
I was thinking, what's
This
this
is
one?
Sweating for his own slides.
I was gonna come to the rescue, be like, "Well, Simon, this is a Figma fluted knight armor figure from Demon Souls, kind of the
I thought I
what the
recognised
main character is typically portrayed as wearing. So, it's Figma, so it's pricey. I think it's about 110 quid
Really?
for like slightly under 6 inch, like 5.5 inch or something. But like there are tons of accessories. I can see the Moonlit Greatsword is there. I'm clamoring, like there's not a lot of Demon Souls merchandise. There's really no Demon Souls merchandise at all. So I think I will be picking this up, but I would love a 1/6 of this guy. This would be amazing. But I don't think it's going to
There
happen.
are some. There are. It'll not be from this series, I don't think, James. But I have seen some 1/6 scale knights.
Yeah.
In battle armor and stuff, because I quite fancied a few. I thought at one point I might do like a Camelot scene kind of thing.
Yeah.
Nice, very nice. And that's whack. That's your lot, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, guys, for all of your input and your effort tonight. Always a good laugh, always a bit of fun. Some amazing figures as usual. Just to remind you that we've got What You're Watching next week, where we're going to be doing a full review of Phase 4 of the Marvel Universe. So looking forward to seeing people's thoughts and views on that. And I shall see some of you on Thursday night on the Killer Comic Show. And with that, we shall call it a night and say good night, everybody. So thanks very much. And thanks for everybody in the comments. We'll catch us next time. Take care.
Yeah.